Hello everybody. In this video we're going to install a small 350 watt inverter, um, so that way I can power 120 volt AC items. Um, I'm going to eventually need to replace or clean this battery. It's from 2011 and it looks pretty corroded, but it still works, so I'll keep using it for now. To help mount everything, I have put some Velcro stuff here on the bottom of the inverter, and I have a Velcro, the other part of the Velcro thing that I'll be mounting up here on the fuse relay box. So what I will do is clean this spot a little bit and mount this. But I'm probably going to cut a little piece off here because I want to use it to mount something else, which I'll show you in a moment. Before actually mounting the inverter, what you want to do is check to make sure that it'll fit and that the hood can shut down and that nothing's going to hit like that bar there. I've already checked it and I've laid it out, and I think putting it like this will be a good spot for it, and it seems to work. So I'm going to clean this relay box cover. I'm just using a paper towel with some water on it. It's pretty dirty down here. And this is just being done so that when I put the Velcro down, it'll actually stick. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is take my Velcro and figure out how I'm going to do it. I'm probably going to lay it down like this somewhere, but because I don't need all of it, I'm going to trim off a piece that just maybe about an inch or so off the tip there, maybe an inch and a half, because I need to Velcro something else, and I'm going to use the piece from here. So let me go ahead and trim that. Okay, I'm not going to be able to trim and film, so go ahead and pause it for now. Here you can see that I've cut a piece of the Velcro off. This is the fuzzy part right here, because on the bottom of it I have the burly part that will actually stick to it. Now the reason I trimmed it is because I'm going to be using this little piece to mount my phone inside the car. That way I can have, the phone ready for use for GPS or whatever. I could have just put the whole thing down, but I didn't need it, so I'll be doing that. And how you mount this stuff is you just basically peel off the back and just stick it there. You can pick up the Velcro almost anywhere, but I usually pick up my stuff at Walmart. I think the packet for this was about $5 or $6. I'll be listing prices, actual prices, when I put together the ebook. So let me go ahead and put the Velcro down. As you can see, I've attached the Velcro. I peeled off the backing on it and have attached it. Now I simply just lay the inverter there, and it will hold it in place. This is just to keep it from flying off. It easily comes back off. Well, sort of. Working so good there, didn't want to come off. But it comes back off so that the you can get access to the fuse box and the battery as needed. But I've mounted that now. And to test it out, okay, our red, which is our positive, is back there. So we're going to go ahead and hook this up. The red. Whoa, wait a second here. Do the red. And our black is negative. And ground. We'll hook it up there. A little bit of a spark when you do that. You see the unit is currently off. I plugged one of the, actually it says 110 AC, not 120, but it'll still power stuff. So I plugged one of the holes here because I only plan on using one outlet. And when I flip it on, you can see the power light comes on. At this point I have a live 110 volt AC plug that I can use to power items. Now, the reason I mounted this particular unit here is because it has 350 watts of output. And I have a rice cooker that runs off 300. So by mounting this here, I can simply plug in my rice cooker and I can cook from the car battery. Now, you're not going to want to run items off this inverter unless you're running your engine, because when you run the inverter, it'll pull power from the battery. And if you're not careful, you could drain all the energy from the battery and then your car won't start. So when I use this particular inverter, I turn the car on and run it, and then I just run a plug out here, plug it into my appliance, and run it. Inverters come in different sizes, different watt outputs, and I chose this one here because it's just powerful enough to run my rice cooker and a couple small appliances. And the reason we mount it out here directly on the battery is most inverters, actually pretty much all of them, if you go above 200 watts, 220 watts, you need to run a cable directly from the battery to the inverter. Otherwise, if you're using less watts than that, like maybe a 65 or 100 watts, you may be able to get away with an inverter that allows you to plug into the cigarette lighter inside your vehicle. For example, if you have a charger for your laptop, or some other small device that doesn't use too much power, you just go ahead and get an inverter that has a instead of having the jumper cable things here that can connect directly to the battery terminal, you connect directly into the car's cigarette lighter or accessory lighter socket, and you can run the inverter there. We may try to mount a small inverter inside the car itself so that we can run electrical appliances in there that don't require too many watts. But this is here specifically for cooking, and when I when I'm not using it, I just power it down. When I need it, I start up the car and I power this thing up. Then I just plug in my appliance and cook. Now, what I can do, or may do, I haven't decided yet, is I could take a power cable, a power plug, and plug it into here. Then somehow figure out if there's a way to patch through. I could run the line directly into the vehicle. And what that would allow me to do is use the system, use the 110 power from the car's battery while I'm driving, or from inside, without having to come out here, pop the hood, and plug it in. We'll save that for a future date if I do decide to proceed with that. But for now, just know that this is a simple way to get 110, 120 volt power, and you can run electrical appliances just by plugging into here. Just make sure you have your car running when you're using it so you don't drain your car battery. Let me check this again here. Okay, it's on and it's off. Okay, the other tip that I need to remind you is when you're not using it, it might be safest to unplug the system. So I'm disconnecting everything. And the reason I'm doing that is just because you don't want to leave things plugged in case, of a short or any other issues. So by doing this, by unplugging it, I'm just trying to make sure that I don't have any additional problems or create problems for myself. I'll just put it here on the side. And it looks like it'll work. Get my stuff. And I can shut the hood. And there we have it. Got now we have 110, 120 volt power system installed.